Nice to meet you sort of today.
Yeah.
Tonally, this is a tricky film to get right because it's a horror, it's a satire, it's science fiction, it's a dark comedy, and it has to work on a human level. And you
Mhm.
somehow managed to pull it off. I mean, how conscious were you of the tone when making this? And was that something that mostly came kind of in the edit, or was it always there in the script and on set?
Uh, I think a lot of it is just what I'm into, and the kind of I try to make the kinds of movies that I would want to see, and I'm hugely influenced by people like Sam Raimi. That when you go to see a film like Drag Me to Hell, it just has so many things going on at once. It's like it's funny and shocking, but it also has heart to it as well. And just it's great when you can just shoehorn in as much as possible. But yes, it is tricky to get the tone right, but it helps when you've got a really great cast of actors who know how to pull it off.
Yeah, and obviously, and people sort of behind the scenes as well. I mean, James Wan is such a force at the moment in this genre,
Mm.
and to have him and sort of Jason Blum, who just keep making great, successful movies. Do you feel quite well supported when you have talent behind you like that? Not to mention, obviously, Akela Cooper as well.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was hugely influenced by those guys and had watched so many of those movies going into making my first movie. So I was already well schooled on the genre going in, and once we started, they were strangely hands off. Really, it was really surprising. I even expected James. I fully expected James to take over the cut at some point. And that just never happened. Like, it was just like, it's your movie. Like, because James has final cut and he never took it. It was just like, it's your movie. And so just, yeah, hugely supported.
Yeah, being sort of being quite hands off is probably what creates such good art because it lets you kind of tell the story your way.
Yeah, James is a master, and I went to him for advice on certain things because, like, why wouldn't I? But it was great, because we found we were often on the same page about things, and so. But yeah, he definitely had a couple of fun ideas that snuck it into the film. And I mean, it was his idea to begin with, but in terms of doing some of the sequences and things like that, I wanted to pick his brain.
Yeah, I mean, we were sort of talking of balance before. How involved were you in the design of Megan? Was it quite tricky to capture that kind of balance between sweet and sinister?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was my job as a director is really to bring everything to screen, visually. And so it was agonizing trying to just figure out the perfect iconic look. Although at some point I kind of realized I could make her hair red, I could do this, I could do that. Ultimately, the choice we made is she's going to look uncanny, and that's going to be enough. So I almost at that point I realized, oh, I don't have to overthink it. If we just make her real and make her beauty something that's sinister in itself, we'll be okay.
Yeah, and can we talk a bit about the dancing? I mean, I saw a clip actually of the numerous Megans dancing to Taylor Swift at a screening in London, which is quite funny as well. But whose idea was it to make the character to dance? Was that in the script, or did that come about on set?
No, that wasn't in the script, but the song that she dances to in the film, happened to be playing as I was kind of working on it and developing some ideas, and I just thought this would be really fun. It immediately conjured up an image that I just thought would be so fun for the world to see. So
And very, very sort of unsettling.
exactly.
Well, obviously the character, the way that she is with her Megan toy, we all had that kind of attachment to certain toys when we were kids. Do you remember what your kind of equivalent to maybe Megan was when you were young? Was there a toy that you took everywhere with you?
I remember I didn't have dolls. I remember I had I had inner the inner shell of the Death Star, and I was very attached to that. And I keep hassling my mum about it to this day that she threw that out because it would be thousands of dollars now if she just hung on to it. But no, I was really into. I had this Thundercats car that I was quite keen on. So no, I was into cars and Star Wars toys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just had a sort of Pinocchio, sort of soft Pinocchio toy. I don't think I would have get. I think my mum threw that away, but I don't think that's worth much money, to be fair.
I'm sure I had a He-Man. I'm sure I had like the action figures, but yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and best of luck with the release of the movie.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that
yeah.
from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.